And welcome to the called public meeting of the Henry County Board of Commissioners for 9 a.m. Wednesday, August 1st, 2012. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask for an acceptance of the agenda. Motion by Mr. Stamian, a second by Mr. Bowman. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. The purpose of this meeting is a public hearing on the proposed millage rate for the upcoming year. And this is the third public meeting with a proposed millage to be set at 14.5. And this is an opportunity for citizens to come and speak. And I would like to call you one at a time. You've already signed up, and I hope I've got this. Is it Larry Garcia? Larry? And Mr. Garcia lives at 78 Walnut Way in McDonough. Good morning.
The Board of Commissioners press releases state that spending has been cut. When did this body ever want to cut taxes? When did it ever plan for it? I think we can all agree the truth is tax revenues have been declining due to property values, which property owners are suffering with. Spending cuts were forced on the county. Now, the citizens understand that the budget process is more difficult now that most of the excess has been removed and the point has been reached where difficult decisions must be made. The majority of citizens believe that conditions, timing, and the environment are right to further reduce the size of county systems and relieve the burden on the taxpayers of Henry County. The citizens need brave leadership. Leadership that will analyze every department and function of this county government, searching for reductions. Brave leadership capable of bold choices is needed to reduce and eliminate every activity possible. For example, the Development Authority. The authority states, to me personally, that their purpose is to create wealth. But wealth for who? Is it for the developer and builder who overbuilds the land and leaves the blighted subdivisions dotting our community? Then the county develops block grants and tax allocation districts to clean up the mess. And the taxpayer foots the bill a second time. Is it so hard to see a vision where the county is so popular that recruiting business is not necessary? That giving away incentives and tax revenues is not required? I tell you, taxpayers are not concerned with growing our tax base. Only the power elite benefit from the Development Authority. The citizens submit that the government shouldn't be in the senior center business. I know this may seem callous and insensitive, but why is the county in this business? It doesn't provide infant centers. Some would say that it's because seniors vote, infants don't. If the public needs these centers, the church will provide the service, just as it has done for over 2,000 years. The citizens respectfully ask why your political campaign is stating that the millage increase is an adjustment, and why you say it will result in no tax increase. What about motor vehicle taxes? Aren't those tied to the millage rate? If there is not going to be a tax increase, why raise the tax rate? Why go through the exercise? By using the term adjustment instead of increase, you are being deceptive. The citizens need brave and honest leadership, willing to speak the truth regardless of the circumstances. We, the people, hope for brave leadership willing to boldly make difficult decisions and not settle for wringing of hands with the tired lines that there's nothing to be done and we dislike what we have to do. We, the people, hope for brave leadership that will examine every activity of county functions and eliminate any that can be performed by the private sector. We, the people, hope for honest leadership that doesn't manipulate our laws for self-serving purposes. We, the people, hope for honest leadership that puts the rank-and-file citizen taxpayer interest ahead of the special interest groups and the power elite. We, the people, hope for honest leadership that will erase all perceptions of questionable ethics by enacting stronger ethics codes and instituting an ethics board. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. The next person that has signed up for public comment is Bob Cheney of 1221 Cooper Ridge, McDonough. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't have the long, lengthy, prepared speech as my predecessor did, but my purposes here is to represent small business in the county. I have 2 small businesses. I have been here for almost 10 years, and I'm just about ready to have to wind up my businesses because the cost of doing business in the county has gotten just too excessive. Property taxes are just, in my opinion, out of control. Assessments are out of control. And now you're proposing a tax change, which I'm not sure how is going to affect my business or my property taxes. But as a small business, I don't have the choice of raising taxes or increasing, let's say, rents today, because the people I would increase can't pay it either. So it's kind of a catch-21 or 22, however you want to do it. People or let's say your taxpayers are hurting. They're having a hard time making a living. The assessments of their property have gone down. They don't have the equity in their homes that they used to have. But amazingly, the assessments of the county, when the county assessor comes out, the assessments are increased. I don't understand that. If my home can go down 20%, why cannot my businesses go down an equal amount? That just doesn't make sense to me. But according to the assessor, geez, that's the way it is. The government, or Henry County, and I'm very disappointed in you because, in my opinion, I thought the announcement of this meeting was very short notice. I didn't see it until just the other day, and I would think that this kind of subject would deserve a little bit more than just a couple of 3 days of public hearings. And I think because there's not many people here, there's not many people had the opportunity to see it. We're all busy with the T-spot, worried about what that's going to do to us. Now, I think the taxpayers kind of said that we're not interested in any more taxes, and I think the results of the T-spots indicates that. Earnings are slim for taxpayers today, especially small businesses, and we need help. We don't need tax increases, and we don't need to see assessments go up so tax increases can get the county more money. The gentleman just before me made a very good suggestion. Sit down, go through the budget, just like all of us businesses do, and make some cuts. I watched you all on television a few months ago where you had tears in your eyes and you moaned and groaned because we were really sorry we had to make some cuts. What do you think we have to do as a small business? That's the only choice we have. But we have to do it more frequently than you do, and we don't have the choice of collecting taxes to help offset our costs. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. County Attorney, could you speak to the advertisement that went out for these meetings so that everyone will understand what that process was?
Yes, ma'am. The county followed state law concerning the advertisement. Advertisement was run twice, 1 week prior to the first public hearing, and again another week ahead of time before this public meeting. So there were actually 2 consecutive weeks of public advertisement. In addition, it's been advertised on our county website, and it has been shown on the county television, TV 14, notice of these hearings. So we have complied and trying to go over and above even what state law requires with respect to giving citizens ample notice of the hearings. As far as the 3 public hearings, this is what the law mandates. So there are 3 public hearings, and I think that is done for the sole purpose of giving maximum opportunity to allow citizens. One of the public hearings was held at 6 o'clock in the evening so that people who work during the day could get here. So while I understand your statement and concerns, we did follow state law and went through great lengths to make certain that there was ample opportunity for public comment and participation in this process.
Thank you. All right, the final comment we have this morning is from Jens Pete Paulson of 45 Fern Road in Stockbridge. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chairman, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. I'll speak off my notes just to keep me on target. To begin with, I'm a very strong supporter of our public safety folks, the first responders. They put their life on the line every day for all of us, and they deserve everything, and they're entitled to our full support. We have a moral obligation to them. Their service goes throughout the county. It doesn't just cover property owners, so we need to share the responsibility. The voters must ask a direct question, and they must, in turn, expect a direct answer. We hear now that the millage rate must be increased from 11.75 to 14.5 mills. And with that, this was tied to a possibility of not being able to give those first responders a pay raise. And I'm thinking that is very misguided. And I'll tell you shortly why. In Henry County, many progressive things have taken place. We were in very strong physical shape. In 2007, as you know, we purchased the Cotton Fields Golf Course. In 2011, Henry County purchased the airport. And both times the taxpayers were told that we were in solid physical shape and we would not have to increase taxes. Then, in 2011, 2012, I think it finished, when we sold the Henry Medical Hospital for quite a substantial sum in the coffer. We were advised that the commissioners would pass a balanced budget. Most recently, we read that the commissioner had passed a budget. However, there was a $10 million, and some reports said $12 million shortfall. Can we possibly get an update of what went wrong? Were there some unexpected pitfalls, something that we overlooked in the process? Now, I'm going to throw you a curveball to some of you because this is a little well-kept secret. Some of you are familiar with our Georgia Code Title 33-8, sometimes referred to as the insurance premium tax or the municipal tax. And I'll explain real quick the short version of what happens. Every insurance premium that is paid in Henry County has to be reported every year to the insurance commissioner's office. He then is that office is then, if I can use that word, the clearinghouse for that money. 2.5% of all the insurance premiums are then returned to the county, earmarked for public safety, police and fire. So for us to hijack the pay increase for our first responders and tie them to a millage rate is, in my opinion, misguided. Yesterday, they confirmed me from the Insurance Commissioner's Office that Henry County last year received quite a substantial amount. If it's okay, Madam Chair, if I give that number out here publicly?
Yeah, certainly.
For 1 year, Henry County received last year $60,152,097 for public safety.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, Mike?
Well, if he was talking about insurance premiums, I know what we received on insurance premiums, and it's not $60 million, it's more like $6 million. I don't know, you just said for public safety, so maybe you're quoting a different number.
I asked them to repeat it 3 times, and we discussed it, and I was appalled as the amount. And that money is earmarked for public safety, for police and fire, hydrants, equipment, training personnel, etc. So that's where our source should come from for the public safety folks. Now, as far as the shortfall being placed on the taxpayers, are we not already overtaxed? First, when you purchase a property, you're taxed. Every year, you're paying that property tax. And again, you pay into the insurance premium tax. And now the shortfall is again levied on the property owners, apparently. I asked that we look at the balance sheet from the hospital purchase and the insurance premiums tax and take another look at it. If our heart is in the right place and we place our priorities right, the end result will come out right. Again, I'm in strong support of public safety. I'm also strongly opposed to additional taxes or an increase in the millage rate. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, I think we should
We need to
answer
answer
a
a couple
couple
of questions.
comments. First of all, I'd like to have, I'm sorry. I
No,
didn't have
please, go ahead,
permission.
Mr. Bowden.
First of all, I'd like to have our county attorney address that issue. And the other thing, one issue, to my knowledge, we haven't sold the hospital. Nobody's bought it. But I don't know where you got that information, but it has not been sold. The other thing is, if you would address the comments this gentleman made, because it's, in 6 years I haven't heard some of them, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Insurance premium taxes are allowed to be provided back to the local governing body by state law. There is no earmark of those funds for public safety. The Georgia Constitution enables county governments to engage in a number of functions related to the public health, safety, and welfare of its citizens. Roads, streets, bridges, administration, salaries. Public safety is amongst those enumerated powers that the government can exercise. Those taxes, the insurance premium taxes, can be applied to the overall function of those powers. And while public safety is amongst them, it is not the sole beneficiary of insurance premium taxes.
Well, I think the other question that needs to be answered too is that it was in no way, shape, or form $60 million. I don't know where that number came from, but Mike, you said it was closer to $6 million?
We received $6,015,212.97 in insurance premium tax returned to this county in 2012.
That's a long way. That's a long way from $60 million. We haven't sold the hospital.
We don't own the hospital.
Right. It's not ours to sell.
Not ours.
The other thing is, some of the comments here have been really, really kind of way overboard. We haven't given proper notice. I know that I've sit here in 3 separate meetings, and they were advertised on a number of occasions, and because somebody doesn't take the time to look or read or see, and then to come up and be disappointed in a board that doesn't advertise it is ridiculous. We did advertise it. We did do that. And, I understand that there's a lot of emotion out there, but at the end of the day, people need to get their facts straight and do their homework before they come up here. because when you come up here and make those comments, you're making a comment that really, I just tell you, I mean, it's appalling to them, to this particular person, that it was a short notice. It's appalling to me that they didn't know about it quicker, because we've only been talking about it now for the last 6 months. We've had special call meeting after special call meeting after special call meeting. And now we get somebody who comes up and says, oh, by the way, I'm appalled at the fact that you guys didn't advertise it and it's been just thrown out there, which is totally false, it's totally a lie, and it's untrue. And that's all I have to say on that issue.
It hasn't been as popular as MIllage. I agree with what the guys say.
I'm sorry? Would you come to the microphone, please?
We're not taking comments
sorry.
from the audience.
I just,
If someone signed up for public comment, we certainly
Okay.
want to hear that, but we're not going to get in a shouting match back and forth.
my bad.
That
My
is
bad.
not the proper way to conduct a meeting. Does any board member have a question or comment they'd like to make at this time? Okay. If not, that's going to conclude our public hearing for the millage rate, and at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bowman. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Holmes. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. We stand adjourned.